Hello everyone, I'm Helen from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you the Retro Nostalgia series, Cherry Blossom V-Neck Vest. For the charts of this project, please search for our website by the keyword en.susuddiy.com. The vest is divided into the body piece, the front piece, the back piece, the collar, the cuffs and the hem. The body and the pieces are made by joining motifs. We crochet and join the corresponding motifs, and pick up stitches along the corresponding area for the collar, the cuffs and the hem. First, we crochet and join the motifs for the body. There are several types of motif. To make it easier to watch, I will be working from bottom to top, and left to right. The motifs for the body are worked in rounds. The first circle are formed by same kind of motifs. The second circle has some new ones. Let's start by making the first round. Here, only the first motif is crocheted completely. For the remaining motifs, we'll join them together when working on the last round. For the first motif, which is the only completed one, we start with a chain ring and crochet in rounds counterclockwise. During this process, we work with two colors alternately. The stitches techniques here include chain, double crochet, DC 2-in-1, single crochet and slip stitch. Please watch as I crochet. To make it easier to see, I will be working with other yarns in random color. For the specific yarn, color choices, and hook sizes, please check the detail page and the chart of our production. First, let's start. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap the yarn around your left little finger. Place it between your middle and index finger. Then pinch the tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the hook with your right hand. Place it below the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the overlap. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Tighten it slightly. Now start chaining. Yarn over and draw through. One chain is completed. A braid like this represents one stitch. Continue with more chains. Yarn over and draw through. This is the second stitch. Continue like this to make 4 more chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adding the initial 2 stitches, there are 6 stitches in total here. Now make a ring with the V-shaped braid on the right side facing you. Pick up the back ridge of the first chain. Which is this strand here. Work a slip stitch. Yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. The slip stitch here doesn't count as a stitch. Slightly tighten it. And the chain ring is completed. Now, start with round 1. Chain 3 as the beginning chain of the double crochet. Yarn over and draw through 1, 2, 3. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet, then work 1 double crochet. Wrap the yarn once around the hook. Insert the starting ring. You can weave in the starting tail as you crochet. Place it above the hook. Yarn over and draw through. There are now 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and draw through all loops. 1 double crochet is completed. The V-shaped braid at the upper right is the stitch of it. 1 stitch indicates 1 double crochet. Now make another double crochet. Yarn over. Insert. Don't forget to weave in the tail. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat this process twice. Once and twice. Another double crochet is completed, adding the beginning chain. Now you have crocheted 3 stitches. For round 1, you need to crochet 12 double crochets in the starting ring. Continue with the remaining double crochets. You may check the stitch count. After completing, join with a slip stitch in the top of the beginning chain. Find the 3rd chain of the beginning chain, counting from bottom up. Here is this stitch. Pick up 2 strands of it to make a slip stitch. Yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook. This complete the slip stitch. The slip stitch doesn't count as a stitch. You need to pull it tight to avoid crocheting extra stitches in it later. Round 1 is completed. The next round requires a color change, and we still need this color for round 3. Since we don't want too many tails, we may secure the tail end now. Enlarge the loop and pass the skein through. Gently tighten. Leave the tail there for now. And trim the excess of starting tail. Now crochet round 2. Pick up the corresponding color first. To make it easier to understand, I'll call the color from round 1 color 1. And the new color here, color 2. Make a loose knot with color 2. Insert the entry point of the beginning chain from the previous round, where you previously inserted the slip stitch. Pull the loop through. Adjust a little. Make sure the knot doesn't show on the right side. Then chain 3 to start. Again, these 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. Next, work 1 double crochet in the same spot. Place color 1 where it is. Weave in the joined yarn as you go. Pick up the next stitches of double crochet to work a DC 2-in-1, which means to make 2 double crochets in the same spot. The next stitch is slightly puckered. Please work into the top 2 strands of it. One. 3. That completes the DC 2-in-1. Keep working DC 2-in-1 evenly into the following stitches of double crochets, meaning to make 2 double crochets in the same spot. Finish this round. Please check the stitch count again, now. Note that the beginning chain counts as 1 stitch, and should be included. Finally, for the 3rd chain of the beginning chain, pick up 2 strands of it to make a slip stitch. Pull tight. We'll change colors for the next round, and this color will still be needed later. So let's secure the tail end. Enlarge the loop. Pass the skin through. Slightly tighten. Round 2 is complete. Now move on to round 3. Pick up color 1. And leave color 2 where it is for now. Insert the entry point of the beginning chain from the previous round, where the slip stitch was inserted. Yarn over and draw through. Make 1 beginning chain to start. This is the beginning chain for single crochet. It does not count as a stitch. Work 1 single crochet in the same spot. Insert. Yarn over and draw through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through all loops. That completes the single crochet. The braid on the upper right is the stitch of it. A stitch like this represents 1 stitch. Now work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. The stitch here is slightly puckered. Please work into the top 2 strands. Yarn over and draw through. Then yarn over and draw through the 2 loops on hook. That completes the single crochet. Now, insert the gap between this double crochet and beginning chain from round 1. And work 1 double crochet. Wrap in all the strands above as you go. When drawing the yarn through, the loops should be slightly higher than the previous round. The final height of stitch should match the adjacent single crochet. We want the fabric to be flat. Continue. Pick up the following stitches of double crochet. It might be hidden. Insert the corresponding position. Make 2 single crochets evenly. After that, into the gap between stitches from round 1. Work 1 double crochet. For the following stitches of double crochets, make 2 single crochets evenly. For the gaps between stitches from round 1, make 1 double crochet. Repeat this process across the round. After the last double crochet, we should have 12 double crochets in this round. Now slip stitch into the first single crochet. This vertical braid on the left side is the beginning chain. Skip it. The horizontal braid is the stitch of the first single crochet. Insert here. And make a slip stitch. And tighten up. Now secure the tail end. Leave the tail where it is for now. Round 3 is complete. Now move on to round 4. Work with color 2. Pick up the yarn. Insert the stitch of the first single crochet from the previous round, which is the entry point of the slip stitch. Yarn over and draw through. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. This beginning chain doesn't count as a stitch. Now, work 1 single crochet in the same spot. Work single crochets evenly for the following stitches, all across the round. After the last single crochet, join with a slip stitch into the stitch of first single crochet. Pull tight and secure the tail end. Round 4 is completed. Continue with round 5. Pick up color 1. Insert the stitch of the first single crochet from the previous round. Yarn over and draw through. Chain 3 as beginning chain. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. Chain 3 again as a bridge. Work 1 double crochet in the same spot. Then skip the next 2 stitches. Work 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 3 as a bridge. Work 1 double crochet in the same spot. Consider these 2 double crochets and the chains between them as one group. Continue by skipping 2 stitches. Then work 1 group. For the rest, skip 2 stitches and work 1 group. Repeat this process across the round. After this group, there are still 2 stitches left. Leave them unworked. Then join with a slip stitch at the top of the beginning chain. For beginning chain of double crochet, we work into these 2 strands of the 3rd stitch. Here, place color 2 over the hook and draw through. And pull tight. Secure the tail end. As round 5 is completed, let's move on to round 6. Insert the chain space on the left of the tail end from the previous round. Draw color 2 through. And chain 3 to begin. Work 4 double crochets in the same chain space. Adding the beginning chain. Here we've made 5 double crochets. Keep going. For the following chain spaces, work 5 double crochets each. Finish the round. After the last chain space, join with a slip stitch into the entry point of the beginning chain. Tighten up. Secure the tail end. Now round 6 is completed. Move on to round 7. Insert the 2nd stitch of double crochet from the beginning chain. Draw color 1 through. Chain 3 as beginning chain. Work 2 double crochets in the same spot. And weave in color 2 as you go. After that, leave color 2 where it is. Chain 2. Into the gaps between groups from round 5. Work 1 double crochet. Similarly, wrap in all the strands above as you go. The height of completed stitch should be similar to the previous ones. Chain 2 as a bridge. Pick up the middle stitch of the following 5 double crochets and work 1 single crochet in it. Chain 2 as a bridge. In the next gap of groups from round 5, work 1 double crochet. Chain 2 as a bridge. Pick up the middle stitch of the following 5 double crochets, work 1 single crochet. Chain 2 as a bridge. In the following gap, Work 1 double crochet. And chain 2 as a bridge. Pick up the middle stitch of the following 5 double crochets. Work 3 double crochets in it. Here, consider the completed stitches as one side. Now, crochet one corner, which is 3 chains. Then crochet the second side. Start by inserting the same entry point below, and crocheting 3 double crochets. Then for the gaps from round 5, and the center stitch of the 5 double crochets, crochet 1 double crochet, and 1 single crochet, all the way to these 3 double crochets. Chain 2 between every 2 stitches. After the third double crochet, chain 2. Then pick up the center stitch of the following 5 stitches, and crochet 3 double crochets. Now, the second side is completed. Continue to crochet the second corner, which is 3 chains. Follow the method for the second edge and corner. Continue crocheting 2 more edges and corners. Here, the first 3 double crochets of each side are worked into the entry point of the last 3 double crochets of the previous side. Continue like this. Keep working as the chart requires. The last 3 double crochets of the final side are worked into the starting point of the first side. After that, crochet the last corner. Take a look now. After this round, we have a square shape formed, with 4 sides and 4 corners. Finally, join with a slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight. Since we won't need this color anymore, cut the yarn here. First, chain 1 to secure. Leave a short tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. The tail can be woven in later, or hidden on the wrong side of the fabric. I'll show you how to hide the tail. You can do it in with a few more stitches, and trim any excess tails. That completes round 7. Now, let's work on round 8. Insert chain space of the last corner from the previous round. And draw the remaining yarn through. Chain 3 as beginning chain. 2 double crochets in the same spot. Including the beginning chain, we have 3 stitches now. For the following chain spaces, work 3 double crochets each. If you haven't woven in the tail yet, you can do it now. For the chain space at the corner, crochet 3 double crochets in it. Chain 3 as a bridge. Crochet 3 more double crochets in the same spot. Consider the stitches we worked here as the corner of this round. Between 2 corners, we have side of this round. For the rest of this round, work 3 double crochets in each chain space. And 3 double crochets, 3 chains, followed by 3 double crochets in each corner position. Repeat this process, and keep going. After the last side, we're at the first corner. We've worked 3 double crochets here. Now we work another 3 double crochets in the same spot. 3 double crochets. And 3 chains. This corner is complete. Join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. Pull tight. Fasten off the yarn. Hide the tail on the wrong side. At this point, round 8 is completed. The first complete motif is also finished. You can compare the size of it to the chart. If the size differs significantly, you may adjust your tension or switch to a different hook size and crochet again. Now move on to the remaining motifs of round 1. Here, I will be working on the sample. First, crochet the second motif. The first 7 rounds are done in the same way as the first complete motif. Note that there are 2 color schemes for the motifs. The starting color for the second motif is the opposite of the first one. After that, the 2 colors alternate. After round 7, fasten off the yarn. And leave the other yarn uncut. I have already done that. Now we work the last round. And join it with the first motif. Crochet according to the first motif or the chart, until you reach the next corner. Now, crochet and join this corner. First, 3 double crochets in the chain space. Chain 1. Pick up the first motif. As the right side of it facing up, which is the side with the neater texture. The wrong side has a more blurred texture. Insert from the right side into the first motif, into the chain space of any corner. Work 1 slip stitch. Yarn over and draw through all the loops on the hook. Slightly tighten the slip stitch. This completes the connection. Continue by chain 1. Go back to the second motif. Insert the chain space of corner and crochet 3 double crochets. That completes one corner and the connection to the corner of the first motif. Continue crocheting and connecting the next side. Insert the gap between these two groups of 3 double crochets. From the right side, and work 1 slip stitch. Insert the next chain space of the second motif to work 3 double crochets. Now, connect again. From the right side of the first motif. And work 1 slip stitch. As the connection. Go back to the second motif. Insert the next chain space and work 3 double crochets. Now connect again. For the side, we slip stitch into the gap between 2 groups of 3 double crochets. As a connection, and then return to the second motif. Work 3 double crochets in the chain space. Continue like this, and finish this side. After the last 3 double crochets, connect again. At this point, the side is crocheted and connected. Now we crochet and connect the next corner. 3 double crochets first. Chain 1. And in the chain space of corner, work 1 slip stitch as a connection. Continue with 1 chain. Go back to the corner of the second motif. Crochet 3 double crochets there. That completes the crocheting and connection of this corner. No connection needed from here. Continue like we did for the side and corners. And complete the remaining part. Finally, slip stitch into the beginning chain. Pull tight, fasten off the yarn. Hide the tail on the wrong side. The second motif is now complete. Move on to the third one. The technique is identical to the second motif. I will walk you through again. First, complete the first 7 rounds according to the first motif. Then, crochet round 8 until the corner where the connection is needed. Now, we work on this corner. When connecting to the second motif, make sure the right side of the motif faces up. Then connect to this border which is on the opposite side of the first motif. Let's work on this side. After that, move on the next corner. Once completed, we have connected one side and 2 corners. The connection part is done. Continue crocheting the remaining part of the motif. Once completed, the third motif is now finished. For the remaining motifs for this round, crochet and connect them all by the techniques we showed. Note: the new motifs are only connected to the previous ones at 2 corners and 1 side. And the border should always be at the opposite side of the connected one. But, when crocheting the last motif, you need to connect it on both borders. One border to the previous motif at one side and 2 corners. And one border to the first motif. The techniques stay the same. Just work them one by one. For the last corner, since here is the starting point, chain 1 first, then join with a slip stitch, then chain 1 again. Finally, slip stitch into the beginning chain. As you go, check the positions of the motifs. Keep the right sides facing up. The motifs will eventually form a round. This concludes the first round of motifs on the body piece.